Welcome to Breakfast Central. Today is another day and we are back on the air to bring you the latest stories that's been definitely making the headlines here in Nigeria. And of course, as time permits, we will also ensure that we take it outside of the shores of Nigeria. But then again, if you just tuned in, welcome. My name is Joe Hansen.
My name is Olive Emodi. Welcome and thank you very much for joining us. As usual, we always want to hear what you think about every subject matter, everything that we're discussing on the show. And we do that by involving you when we open the phone lines during the newspaper review segment. Also, we want to get your tweets. So tweet at us at X. But very importantly, on YouTube, which is where I kind of like to go and visit to get your feedback. Visit us on YouTube. We're streaming live on News Central TV Live. Drop your thoughts. And during the show, at different intervals, I'll be very happy to read out your comments. But how are you, first of all?
Well, we're keeping up. We're pushing. That's what it is. I did speak to a few persons yesterday, and I said, listen, there were a few complaints here and there, and I said, see, you must take care of your mental health. This is a time where we're getting too much negative stories online. And it seems like it's coherent. It seems like it is just targeted at every, you know what the feeds do. Once you take a look at any story that's got to do with insecurity, the next thing that happens to your feed is...
So the algorithm
interprets
that as, oh, this is the content that you like, and then it starts to push that kind of content.
It looks at what you look at, it looks at the time you spend on it, it looks if you open and read comments, it even looks if you like or share or retweet. It says, okay, this is what this person likes. But the stories have been heart, I'll say, wrenching. They've actually been bordering on few things that everyone is talking about. But the good news is, we did get some releases yesterday, and we got another attack again. And Olive, it baffles me that there's no how we're going to come here on Breakfast Central and not talk about these things.
So it obviously looks like it looks very deliberate. It looks like a plot to destabilize our country, a plot to ensure that, I think the adrenaline that the terrorists get is from seeing it making the news. Unfortunately, we cannot but talk about it. So with every time that we talk about it on TV, it feeds their dopamine and emboldens them to want to do more, especially because we haven't seen strong consequences, punitive measures being meted out against the perpetrators of this crime. So that really is the big challenge there. But speaking about the releases that have been carried out, the 24 schoolgirls abducted from Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School in Maga, Kebbi State, have been safely released after several days in captivity. Their freedom was secured through a non-kinetic operation led by the Office of the National Security Advisor and the Department of State Services, involving dialogue rather than force. The November 17th abduction, which resulted in the tragic loss of a staff member's life, sparked widespread concern and prompted an intensified military search. President Bola Tinubu has welcomed the release of the girls, commending security agencies for their efforts and urging intensified operations to rescue remaining captives. Meanwhile, terrorists have launched fresh attacks at the Isapa community in Ekiti local government area of Kwara State yesterday night. They have abducted a pregnant woman, 10 children, 2 nursing mothers, and several others. Also, bandits have allegedly abducted at least 8 persons in Biresawa village of Shayanwa local government area of Kano State yesterday. So you see, it's consistent, targeted. Unfortunately, we see that they are the soft targets, women, children. These are very easy targets that they prey on. And I go back to a conversation that we had, or a question we asked yesterday. We're overjoyed, we're excited and glad to have secured the release of these girls, to secure the release of these persons. But one question that a number of Nigerians have asked is, how were they released? In an interview, Bayo Ononuga had mentioned how the government had asked them to release these victims, and that the bandits released it because they understand that when the government speaks, the world shakes and, you know, thunder rumbles. And of course, people are not buying that. Those are not his exact words. I'm just adding a bit of satire to it. So the question is, what happened? Were these people arrested? Were the terrorists arrested? Are the terrorists gaining ground against us? Because if we're doing the whole non-kinetic approach, we're doing the whole negotiation methods, and I would say we do whatever we need to do to get humans out, because every single Nigerian life matters. But we keep doing that, and then the next question is, when next? It almost feels like by the time we're discussing one, they're plotting to execute another one. And it's really just sad. I don't know if we can say we're winning the fight yet.
It's a tough one, Olive, but before we highlight more, let's get to see what the girls had to say. We do have a few footage to show to you, and then we'll also see what the Brigadier General who had secured the Kebbi Schoolgirls release also has to say. Take a look.
Okay, Bismillah.
My name is Zainab Kolo from SS3A.
Okay, student of?
TGCX Ismail Jabal.
Okay, number 1, Kenanko?
Yes.
You?
Kebbi Schoolgirls release also has to say. Take a look.
From TGCX.
Okay, number? Number what?
Three.
Okay.
TGCX SS3A.
Okay, you? Okay. Number what?
Number 5.
Number 4. You number?
6.
Number 5.
5. SS3.
Okay, who is the next number?
6.
Okay, your name? The next number? Number what?
Number 7.
Number 5.
Okay.
Call your number first. Number what?
Number 8.
Next one. The next number. Number.
Number 10.
Okay. Call your number first. Number what?
Number 8.
Number 12. Stand up. Class. Next one. 13. Who is 13? Who is 14? 15. Number 16. Okay, 17. 18. Who is 14? 19. 15. 20. Number 16. 21. Okay, 17.
I, Brigadier General M. Jima, the Commander, 1 Brigade, Nigerian Army.
19.
For the past 9 days, concerted efforts have been made by all the security agencies and the Nigerian Army to rescue the school children of government secondary school, government girls secondary school, Maga, in Delco Forest, in Bagega, in Anka local government area of Zamfara State. Thank you.
All right, they have proof that the 24 girls who were indeed abducted have been released. So they've gained their freedom. And you did see the military and the team who put in effort to ensure that they were released. However, there are a few questions, and the questions are what we're going to highlight. But it's good news. I think we should wake up to this good news that there's a positive development. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has welcomed the freed Kebbi Schoolgirls. He put out a tweet on X, or better still, formerly Twitter. And he went on to congratulate and also shared his happiness with the fact that the girls have been released. But that's not all. This is what he said through his senior special advisor, Bayo Ononuga. President Tinubu welcomes the freed Kebbi Schoolgirls, charges the security forces to rescue others still in captivity. President Bola Tinubu has welcomed the release today of the 24 schoolgirls abducted by terrorists in Maga, Kebbi, last Monday. Terrorists struck at the school at dawn on November 17 and abducted the girls moments after a military detachment left the premises. It also goes on to say the Kebbi incident triggered some of the copycat kidnappings in Erupt in Kwara State and Papiri in Niger State. All 38 kidnapped victims in Erupt were freed on Sunday. The same day, the Niger State chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria said 50 of the missing students of the Catholic school in Niger have been found in their parents' home.
Do they mean found in their parents' home or found and in their parents' home?
Anyway, found, yes, and then they said they were in the parents' home. Found and found in found in their parents' home,
Because
meaning that
I want to imagine that that's a mistake.
Okay. Anyway, President Tinubu applauded the security agents for all the efforts made to secure freedom for all the victims taken away by the terrorists. And of course, he goes ahead to highlight the president's statement there in quotes. "I'm relieved that all the 24 girls have been accounted for. Now we must put, as a matter of urgency, more boots on the ground in the vulnerable areas to avert further incidents of kidnapping. My government will offer all the assistance needed to achieve this." End of quotes, President Tinubu said. Well, that's the update. The governor, we do hear, also did make a statement. Let's see if we can also take that footage and share here with you. End of quotes, President.
And all of them are in good health.
Well, that's the update. The governor, we do hear, also did make a statement.
They are on their way coming to the state capital. And let me seize this opportunity on behalf of good people of Kebbi State to thank Mr. President for his concern of Kebbi State. Because since the abduction, Mr. President is off and going to ensure that our guests who have been rescued, and also to seize this opportunity to thank the security agencies, the police, the DSS, the military, the civil defense, and all other security agencies for being alive to their responsibility. They didn't take Mr. President order lightly. And since the abduction, they have been following what is happening professionally to ensure that they did the needful, and they have done the needful.
Well, that's the current governor of Kebbi State, His Excellency Mohammed Idris, speaking there, welcoming the girls for coming back on scarf. But what happened to the security man who was started to have been killed in the process? What happened to the one who was injured? The third question is, what method was used in releasing the girls?
I think that's the one that everyone has been asking.
That's what everybody was asking, because there was a video also circulating showing the armed bandits with guns talking on the phone, you know, and speaking with the girls. And everyone is wondering, okay, why are they recording it? Is this some form of documentary they're trying to put together and so on?
It may also be a show of power to let you know that, look, your government is maybe, they're trying to paint a different picture from what the government is doing. You know how it's like you're trying to sow a seed of discord and a seed of mistrust. So that might also be what it is. We've seen that bandits and terrorists, they've used social media. They use social media almost as much as the everyday citizens.
They even highlight their location now, Olive.
Yeah, they highlight their weapons, they show their money. So it's not a surprise to see that they use social media to share videos. It's part of their mechanism for intimidation as well. It's not just them being able to come and threaten and kidnap and kill people. Social media is how they spread that fear as well. But like we say, we're glad that the girls are back. And it feels like +2 - 3. That's really how it feels.
Well, it's tough. And still talking on insecurity, which happens to cover the major part of our wake-up conversation this morning. Governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, has also decided to meet with security chiefs as well of the state. Now, the governor decided to do this right after the Southwest governors had met a day before, where they all met and discussed to seek ways in which they could secure their territories. Now, this meeting was held equally yesterday. This was after the meeting with all the Southwest governors. But let's take a look and hear what he says.
As you say, the best time to prepare for war is during the time of peace. To today Ogun State is referred to as one of the most peaceful states, if not the most peaceful state in Nigeria. It's important that we continue to sustain that position as the most or one of the most. So the best way to make sure we sustain that is to prepare to ensure that we mitigate anything that may affect that rating of ours. So this is not the first of these kind of meetings, but this meeting is a very important one to us. And that is why I have called.
Okay, so we're starting to see a lot of response, and we're starting to see a lot of action, especially from the part of the subnationals and the federal government as well, which happens to be led by the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who also gave a directive yesterday and said that he's going to support all the security forces, the military, you name them, that is urging them to go ahead, headlong, use whatever you need to use, and ensure you comb the bushes, the forest, and do what you need to do. Now, we're going to wait to see if that instruction or that command, as it were, because he's the commander, so he gives a command, if that command will actually be honored starting from today, because it needs to be at least 24 hours before we can review, not just as journalists, but of course as citizens, as Nigerians, to see if there will be any form of implementing that command. But that's exactly what we're going to look at. Olive, it's been back and forth. While all of this was happening yesterday, we did hear as well that there was a repelling of another attack that was about to happen in Kwara State.
By the local vigilantes. After that, few hours again, they still came back. And like you mentioned at the start of this conversation, nursing mothers and so on were equally picked up. So it's starting to look like it's a premeditated event that's taking place, where it's like a plan, and it's starting to go across all the southwest states, go straight to the north, the middle belt. Now this time we're going up north, so the middle belt is having a little bit of a reprieve, as it were, breathing a little. And one will wonder ordinarily, what's next? Where is it going to come to? Remember that we also spoke here, our anchor for Politics HQ, that spoke to Mr. Gani Adams, who had said that there is a plan to ensure that the southwestern states are equally affected with all of these things. Maybe we should actually play that.
Let's play it again so you can listen to what he had to say.
Tuesday. And what is the reason behind that press conference? We got an information on a very serious authority that we have been highly infiltrated in the southwest.
There is already an infiltration.
Infiltration.
By who?
By these terrorists in most of the communities in Yoruba land. You know, Kogi and Kwara, just like a buffer zones to southwest. And what they are doing in Kogi and Kwara is just a test of ground to start the major attacks in the southwest. The information in our disposal is that they want to attack Oyo, Ekiti, Ondo, and Lagos State.
So we're looking at bit by bit, we're looking at the timelines of every single thing that has happened in the past 48 or 72 hours. And that's Chief Gani Adams. Is the Are Ona Kakanfo of Oyo State. Kakanfo, I try to always get that right, of Oyo State. Speaking there and highlighting that they got from the grapevine, from authority, that there is a plan, a strategy. So the question would be to our viewers, how do you think, or how do you feel saying that the federal government and the state governors are now on their toes and responding to the security threats? It's no more just talking. It's now a case of show working. So every state governor is having a meeting with the security operatives, their chiefs, and then there's a video to document that, listen, we are doing the work, we're doing what we need to do, we're reacting. We just want to see what these reactions will lead to. But Olive, as I pass the mic to you, the final point is Nigerians are asking, what is happening to these terrorists?
Yes.
Is it a case of just negotiating and getting the girls back?
And then
are we still
forgive him.
applying
Forgive him.
kinetic or non-kinetic? And what is that going to do in the long run to Nigeria's security architecture, looking at the fact that it seems porous right now?
I think another angle to point out is how before now, whenever we talked about insecurity and our challenges with insecurity, everybody automatically rushes to president. The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. President is in charge of the country's security. You know, they would bring up the list, the fact that security does not fall within their purview. They don't have command and control. But now, everybody has realized that it's beyond President Bola Tinubu, and they're all sitting up. In a way, I'm sad that we've come to this, but I like that the governors have realized that they have work to do and they can't sit and rest on their oars and wait for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to come and fix insecurity in their state. That everybody is a collective effort now. The governors must do the work. The president must do his work. Because every time they're talking about it not being within their sphere of influence, a number of them have resources. Their budget has been increased. They are getting significantly more money. What are they using this money to do?
Sure.
We can see now in Kwara, for example, that the local police is collaborating with the police is collaborating with the local vigilantes to comb the areas looking for abducted persons, which then reignites the conversation about state police, which is a conversation that we've been talking about over and over again. Is it time to talk about state policing?
Yeah.
To talk about the role of the local vigilantes? Is there a possibility of abuse? Absolutely. We've seen that happen with certain local vigilantes or institutions. I don't know what to call them now. Community police. In some situations, some people refer to them as community police, but they're really just local vigilantes. We've seen Ebubagu. We've seen even the one in I think it's the Hisba police in Kano or so. We've seen a number of these abuses, and what we're saying is you can't completely throw away the baby and the bath water and say that these local vigilantes or state police has the potential to be abused, and as such we shouldn't explore it. What should happen is that we would then see what do we need to do, what structures we need to do to put in place to ensure that, because we need help. We can't work with what is currently the security infrastructure as is insufficient to deal with the hydra-headed monster that insecurity is, or insecurity has presented itself to be. So what we must then do is to look at what we have, look at what structures we need to put in place. If we're getting state police, how do we ensure that we do not encourage abuse? How do we ensure that we prevent abuse? In the current situation, we've still seen the abuse of the police, the abuse of the office of the police. Is that not what has led to the IGPs talking about withdrawal of VIPs, which is it feels like a national anthem.
Now holding food.
Exactly, national anthem being sung every morning on the assembly ground, because it's every other day they are withdrawing policemen from VIPs. If we don't have structures that show that there are that actions have consequences, that if as a policeman you err, there is a strong punitive measure that can potentially cost you your career, that will cost you your job, not just saying, oh, he erred in this division, we'll withdraw him from here and then they will move him to another division, post him to somewhere else. That's not punishment enough. Until we start to see, until policemen know that if I don't take my job seriously, I will lose it. Then we will not see the change that we're looking for. So that abuse that we're scared of seeing happening at the state level, it's already happening at the federal level.
But the fear is it may become more when it comes to the state level, Olive. But that's a conversation we're still going to have, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, well, it's part of our conversation today.
Yes, and it's something we need to have. But then again, let's also highlight that in the spate of all of this insecurity, we need to also be careful of doing things for optics and doing things as a result of trying to show that you are active. After that invasion happened in Eruku, the IGP did send some of the detectives and security chiefs to go down there from the police and investigate. And Nigerians were wondering, okay, are these really detectives because of the way they looked and the manner in which they approached the church and they were walking around it, you know? And can you see somebody with a phone and camera running around and following them? That's what I'm saying. I think we also have to be very careful. We have to be very careful. We're now starting to, this is the first time in a long while where there's a dire need, there's a push, there is a need to actually prove that, listen, we are working. And that's exactly what we're starting to see around here in different places. But then again, Nigerians have asked, are these really the security men and the detectives who walked around? They're checking the wall, checking glasses, and so on. It's good to get detailed information, but I don't think putting out a video is what everybody really needs in the States there, especially Nigerians. What people need is to hear stories that the bandits have been captured, the XYZ has happened, they've been able to do this, and so on. I think more results are actually needed as well. But then again, that's a story for another time, and that's what we're going to have in terms of looking at conversations today.
Right.
Most importantly.
It's one of our conversations today. But now let's move on to another conversation. Well, it's not another one because in some way it's related. It's an insecurity conversation. Insecurity was linked, is one of the reasons why the United States decided to step into the arena and talk about putting boots on the ground, guns a-blazing, coming into Nigeria. And there have been mixed reactions with different people taking the stance on whether or not they believe that the United States should interfere in the issues concerning Nigeria. Now, one of such persons is the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, His Excellency Peter Obi, who has shared his thoughts on the possible, intervention of the United States. President Donald Trump. Let's take a look.
Somebody offered you something you've been looking for. It is not going to start debating what is it. Oh yes, me and my wife are living, we are hungry. Somebody discovered, oh, Peter Obi and his family can no longer eat. You are saying no, it's not true. And we ate in the morning, but the one of afternoon, collect the food first, and then you know how you can ration it. That's what it is. That's my reaction. What I would do, I would have gone, even today you declare me president, I can tell you, number one priority is security of life and property. Number two priority is to put people out of poverty. Because the more you put people out of poverty, the more you reduce criminality. Number three is to invest in education. It is critical for a basic education. There are millions of people out of school today. A child that is 5 years, 10 years today, did not educate, will become a terrorist and a problem for you in 20 years' time. So invest in him now. Now you have the opportunity. Invest in health. All these people are moving around stealing public money. They don't need it. You only bring headache to your life. So that's my reaction to Trump. For me, it's a welcome speech that I would have been begging him.
It didn't go down well with the current administration after Mr. Gregory Peter Obi made that statement. And the senior spokesperson to number one citizen, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, talking about Bayo Onanuga, went on X and put out a tweet reacting to what Mr. Peter Gregory had said, therefore saying it should be written down in history that he is one of those who supported an invasion of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Whether you like it or not, of course, there will be mixed reactions, and you have people who also came out to say, oh, no, we don't agree with that. We think he made very salient points, and part of it is that you need help. You're not able to counter these guys. You're not able to fight these guys. Rather, it seems that it's looking more permissive. So you need someone with a strong force that will come and put the boots on the ground and attack. On the other side, you also have Nigerians who are saying, no, we do not agree with that. Our military is one of the best, the strongest as regards when it comes to Africa. We remember the time of ECOMOG and so on. Nigerian military have shown that, listen, we can handle issues that are even bigger than what we have currently. However, it's a tit for tat. It's neither here nor there. There are a few persons who still believe, let's still welcome the United States. But will the United States still come? The answer will definitely be either a no or a yes. But that's left to the United States to decide.
We don't know that.
That's left for them to decide. We've seen the meeting. They've talked about it. You have a few Nigerians who have left the shores of the country. They've gone there to meet with them. They've spoken. We even had our NSA, National Security Advisor, and others who flew down to the United States to speak on the matter. So I think Mr. Gregory Peter Obi's statement has not been taken lightly. It's been taken with mixed reactions.
Well, but let's see what the reactions are. We head to X and see what Nigerians are saying about this on X. Angry Nigerian, very interesting handle. It says, we should not even be taking this country and our government seriously again at all. Suddenly, they're finding all kidnapped victims, but no record of how and what transpired before they were released. So this is in reaction to the earlier story about the kidnapping. It says, these children were not kidnapped. I repeat, these children were not kidnapped. Show me a child who passed through pains and saw agony, and I will tell you what he or she passed through. But we don't know what they passed through. We don't know whether they put them through.
They're saying so because of the way they looked, and they had this facial olive.
It's not our place to decide how they should look. So, the person that tweeted that, have they been kidnapped before? Do they know how being kidnapped? Besides their kids, okay, they are scared. You kidnap these children. They're young. You give them food, give them drinks to treat them well, and tell them, don't worry, we'll let you go. Just you sort of calm them down. I don't know that tweet applies.
Permit me to add this before we go back to the tweet. I am not 100% staying on the side of the one who tweeted that they don't look kidnapped. It is not in our position to say so. But I'm also going to toil with the professionalism of psychologists, who many of you have abroad, who study facial and human expressions. I've stumbled on a few of them outside the shores of the country, and there's some I also read online.
Except those ones.
And they will tell you, they tell you, yes, they analyze facial expressions.
No, I'm talking of these people in reaction to this video.
Yes.
They haven't done that. So we
no, they haven't. So I remember, I'm just highlighting that some of them will tell you that the facial expression of someone dictates the inner feeling of that person. If someone is sad, it inadvertently shows on the face. If someone is trying to hide something, these guys, you could check them. They're professionals, they're online, they're well paid.
I don't disagree.
And they tell you this. So when I saw the video myself, I was happy. Don't get me wrong. I was like, okay, this is good. Now the president can heave a sigh of relief and say, if he has the list on his table, he can say, okay, Kebbi State cancelled, done. Let's move to the next one, you know. But if you ask these professionals, psychologists who will tell you facial expression, body movement, they'll tell you, okay, there's a little something off about the video compared to previous ones as well, where victims are rather not as expressive as it is. But then again, you can argue that, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, you can argue.
You can argue that, and I can argue that too.
Because you don't know what happens in captivity. You don't know if the particular team that kidnapped these girls we're not nasty to them.
Exactly.
I just thought, you know what, we're doing this. These girls are not our target too. The government is our target, so let's be kind to them. We see it even in movies where there are kidnappers who kidnap people, and then inside the kidnappers there's a caucus that is nice to the kidnapped victim, that gives them water and treats them better than the other people. So I don't think that that's a yardstick, and we should not invalidate their experience unless we have counter information to prove otherwise. Let's continue with the tweets on what Nigerians are saying. We have Shehu Sani, and Senator Shehu Sani says, the news of the release of all the abducted student girls in Kebbi State is a big relief. I have never doubted that the girls would regain freedom sooner than later after analyzing the efforts made. I wish to commend all those who led or contributed to this success. However, bandits should not be trusted. All schools should be protected. Shehu Sani says.
Well said.
Ben Rimande says, while I am relieved and happy these innocent kids are back, no arrests. Where is the deterrence to other criminals who might be considering these options? If no arrest made, no criminal was killed, their money was paid. Paying terrorists makes things worse because they'll be back.
Ben has concluded.
Says. Queen of Take says, when Tinubu swings into action, the result is always positive. As a father, he shunned the G20 summit and spoke to security chiefs while staying behind, receiving reports from the front line. Now all the Kebbi schoolgirls are free from the hands of the abductors. Interesting.
All right. Anyway.
This is in response to Bayo. And the person, Bayo Nanuga, the person says, dear Uncle Bayo, thank you for the updates. Just to remind you that this is not an achievement, as these children were not supposed to be abducted in the first place? And it would be good if you could disclose the following. 1, how were these traumatized pupils freed? 2, did your master's regime pay any ransom? 3, if ransom was paid, as happened in Kwara, how much was it? 4, where are the captors now? 5, were the captors left alive, just as was done in the Kwara case? 6, what about the military personnel who were reportedly ordered by the compromised military leadership to vacate the school 30 minutes before the abduction took place? Where are they now? 7, what post-trauma support plans do you have for these children? 8, what are your plans to reopen the school? 9, what measures are you putting in place to prevent a recurrence? And it says, brother, ... There's an ellipsis after that. A number of questions.
Very, very...
And important.
Nigerians are very... We need to understand that until you see punitive measures taken, there are certain things that will continue. And we've said it here, time without number. I'm going to say it again, using the analogy of a rat in your house. If you have a certain rat or a type of rat in your house that comes to eat just your documents, you either take it out, you know, by using the measures which everybody uses to clean the house and ensure the rats don't come back, or you let the rat be and let him continue destroying things in your house.
You sound like you've interacted.
And eventually, no, I haven't. It's just an analogy that I think works very well. And then the rat eventually leaves the books and then starts going to your TV. You know, eating the cable, trying to get into the TV. That's what happens. And if you tolerate it, then you know what comes with it.
You're emboldening it to let it know that...
That's it. It will come back and it will go and bring his friends.
It's your flatmate, exactly.
Because it will now become lucrative. There's a place we go to, we always eat anything there. And if we look at it from that aspect, then we need to start saying, okay, fine. While we congratulate the success of bringing the girls back, we still have more, don't forget, we still have more that are still in captivity. What we should do now is we should expect that there will be... Anyway, the NSA had released them, what's it called? From 2025 to 2030.
So it's the school safety initiative to let us, Safe Schools initiative, to let us know what the plans are to secure our schools. But it's beyond paperwork. Allocating 15 billion for a year for safety, what does it cover? How many security personnel will be deployed to the school? What is the guarantee? Like, for us to be able to say we're winning this war, we should be able to say that more. So yes, that's the question. What is the metrics for saying that we're turning the curve? Because that's the favorite line that this administration likes to say, that in the fight against insecurity, we're turning the curve. What are the metrics for indicating that? Are we having fewer cases of abductions and kidnappings? Are we having more arrests of bandits and terrorists, more neutralizing of bandits and terrorists? These are the questions to ask. But let's now move from here to Delta State. A woman in Delta State has been arrested for allegedly subjecting her 3-year-old daughter to severe sexual abuse, with medical reports indicating injuries consistent with assault and signs of an infection. The arrest followed concerns raised by residents prompting swift police intervention and the child's immediate transfer for medical care and protection. Authorities say the suspect remains in custody as the investigations continue, while the case has sparked widespread outrage and renewed calls for stronger community vigilance to safeguard vulnerable children across the country. I must warn you, this story has the potential to make you throw up in your mouth. But let's take a look. We must have this conversation.
They are abusing her.
In what way?
Touching her vagina.
You touch her vagina too?
Yes, sir.
Are you aware that her hymen has been broken, that she's no longer a virgin at 3?
Yes, sir.
You are aware?
Yes,
Whose
sir.
child is she?
She's my daughter.
When did you give birth to her?
October.
October when?
21st.
Okay, it's okay. How long have you been practicing this with your daughter?
Since 8 months.
Okay, openly, naturally, just tell me, do you practice lesbianism? Is a yes or no
sir.
question?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So is that why you are practicing it with a little girl of 3 years?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what fun and pleasure do you derive from it?
Nothing, sir.
Huh?
Nothing, sir.
Please, now that you are here, just tell us how you feel.
I feel so bad. I feel disappointment.
I'm not seeing you like someone that is actually
feeling
so
bad. Yes, sir, I feel. I'm so disappointed. I'm not supposed to be a mother.
You are aware that at 3 she's no longer a virgin?
Yes, sir.
Have you been informed that she tested positive to sexually transmitted disease?
Yes, sir.
STD?
Yes, sir.
And you are aware that she has injury on her vulva?
Yes, sir.
So do you think this child should be left with you or should be taken away from you?
No, sir.
What do you think? What do you want them to do with the child?
I want them to take her away from me so that I'll work on myself. I promise to be a better mother.
But I'm better mother from the society or from prison?
From the society.
You don't want to be charged to court. You don't want to go to prison?
No, sir.
Are you aware that you are accountable for everything you do?
Yes, sir.
The law does not believe in this kind of mercy you are seeking. You have assaulted, sexually assaulted an underage. Not just that, in Nigeria as a country, it is not even permitted by law. We got another disturbing report where the father of a 3-year-old child who had the baby with a lady is not yet married to came to the station and reported that he came across a video where the mother of his daughter was having sexual intimacy with the 3-year-old daughter. That is a mother practicing lesbianism with her own daughter. We are bringing this to you so that we understand the societal vices and how to come together collectively.
Nothing has made me as sick as this video has. You know, it's depraved. I don't know what to say, Joe.
Nah, you know, I keep saying it. When people shout that I want to be a journalist, it's a tough nut to crack. It's a tough job.
So,
because the things you hear and you see, I mean, we must give kudos to many have attacked CSP Bright Adafe for always doing these videos, and I want to commend him. I think while he was on breakfast the last time he came, we commended him and said, "Well done." The commendation is for the fact that this is what is needed in the society going forward. I keep saying it. It is not enough. We have a completely broken down, morally, name it, a broken down society. And when he does these videos, it doesn't just serve as enlightenment, it also serves as an educational video where people can watch and get an insight into understanding what is going on within their society. It also serves as a wake-up call. Because right now I can tell you that some parents would turn around and look at their children and start to imagine, okay, where do I drop this child whenever I go to work? Am I sure my child is safe? So it's like a wake-up call to everyone. But then again,
I have a slightly different view in that regard, but
this is one of the most, I mean, we must, to our viewers, sorry
about that video, but
it's something we have to
I mean, it's a story that we had to talk about, and that was the video that could explain the story. That woman does not deserve to be a mother. She deserves to have a child taken from her, and she deserves to not have that child returned to her. She should go and ask God for forgiveness, but she should also have to face the law.
She should face the law.
You know, and this is not, I know that, yes, we have our strong laws against homosexuality in Nigeria, but there's a line you don't cross. And the line you don't cross is, you don't bring whatever it is you're doing near children. You don't do that. You don't bring it near children. To think that we talk about, you know, the month of November from the 25th up until the 10th of December is 16 days of activism against gender-based violence.
Yeah.
We're talking about activism against, you know, violence against women. This time around, it's violence against a woman, a little girl, inflicted on her, not just by any woman, but by her mother. It shows the depravity of our world. We're getting further and further depraved. Our moral compass is broken as a society.
Completely.
It is broken. When we were younger, they would say that it takes a community to raise a child. Joe, we had the luxury as children of being able to go and play suwe. Your neighbors will come, you will play, you do anything, you do police and thief, you people will hide, and you know, you play catch-up. We had such beautiful memories growing up that unfortunately our children may not be able to have. The only thing you now have to do as a parent is either you make sure you save enough to plan for a trip for you and your family to travel abroad, or go to one resort and create memories, go to one beach to create a memory. The freedom that we had growing up to be able to interact with other children, you can't try that now. Because if you try it, there's no telling what will be done to your child. And that's what happens when the family is the smallest unit in the society. And a lot of the failings are starting from the family.
Of course.
People are not learning, you know, to take responsibility within themselves of being able to raise good sensible, godly people. I watched a video, and this is not related to this, but I'm only bringing up this video because it relates to our moral compass. In this video, a young man goes around doing this, their vox pop, and he's asking random questions. And he will say, green flag, red flag. And he will ask, he's fine, but he doesn't have money. They will say red flag. Okay. He's not good looking, but no, he's a good, anyway, he asked the question saying, he has money, but his money is from Yahoo Yahoo. The girl said, green flag. Not one girl, Joe. Multiple people.
We're saying green
they
flag.
will say green
It's
flag.
fine. That means
one
it's
said,
fine.
oh, she said, so long as he spends the money on me. So the means by which he gets the money
Doesn't concern
it doesn't concern you. It's now even worse that not only are we are young girls endorsing fraud, young girls and boys endorsing fraud. They're not even hiding it anymore. Openly doing it. Is why a 15-year-old boy will go and buy Mercedes Benz and bring it home, and his parents will be jubilating and be doing celebration. You cannot. When I was younger, I can't just bring things from the house.
A pencil.
My mother will ask me, where did you bring this from?
Exactly.
Who gave it to you? We don't have those anymore. Our society is failing. And it is because our society is failing, our moral compass is failing, is why women will be hearing stories of women abusing their girls. It's so sad. It's really sad. And I hope that justice will take its course and that she will have her day in court.
Let's see what Nigerians are saying very quickly on this particular story as we look to wrap up. Nice job, sir, but why are you not showing her face? Let's see the devil. If not man, he will be everywhere. Like
so let's just...
We don't know her. Make she no be person where person don't keep his or her daughter with. That's exactly what I highlighted. Or maybe she's a class teacher. She might have more cases. You see, this is a very powerful tweet. However, we must mention that her face cannot be shown, even though we are being used and bastardized with that format of someone who has been, caught in an act. You must first of all show the face. I mean, the law does not allow that.
Even when we do what we call identification parade is not identification parade as is. What we do is, even with all those times when the FCC will round up young men and then show their faces on TV, those things were wrong. And I mean, just to explain that it's not legal to do that.
Yeah, we have to explain that so you get to understand, okay? Your own daughter, I'm afraid that child might never unlearn that behavior. Please, this woman should face heavy consequences for this heinous crime. 8 months, Olive. 8 to 3 years.
Some cases they were not supposed to pass through court at all. Child, they're supposed to take her to prison straight with her own money, not even government prison vehicle. Anyway, these are just reactions to that very sad story.
What a way to start
Tuesday terrible morning. Way to start the show, but a reminder to us, uncles, aunties, parents, that we have a responsibility and that fixing our moral compass starts from the home, from the family, from the individuals. We can't leave everything to the schools and to the government.
And also just to mention, please ensure that, I mean, I did hear this from people, and it's also a moral, I'd say, a necklace on the neck that simply makes it clear that you cannot really hand over your child or your daughter to other people to train.
Not just daughter.
You can't. So that's what I said, your son, everybody.
Yes,
you can't
because
really
they're abusing the boys as well.
That tweet just highlighted what I had said earlier on. Those who had given this woman their children and say, please, Adekomo.
Let me look at. Anyway, let's, if she can abuse her own child, is it another person's child? She will not abuse.
8 months, Olive, 8 months.
Please, let's move on from this story.
Please, let's move on.
Let's share what our headlines this morning are on Breakfast Central.
Today on Breakfast Central, terrorists launched fresh attack in Kwara State. We'll look at the response and what the federal government is doing. Southwest governors meet, demand state police, and also you did see Governor of Ogun State meeting again yesterday. We'll also look at Nigeria's plans as they move from open grazing to ranching. That's the directive given by the presidency. Reps on rising insecurity, they're speaking, they're talking tough about shutting down and focusing on insecurity. And newspaper front pages will be here. You can be part of the show. This is Breakfast Central. Welcome back. Nigeria's Southwest governors have made a unified call for state police and the unveiling of a regional security blueprint aimed at tackling the deepening insecurity crisis in the country. The governors of the Southwest states, comprising of Oyo, Lagos, Ogun, Osun, Ondo, and Ekiti, after their meeting in Ibadan, declared that the creation of state police could no longer be delayed, adding that the region must adopt new measures to actually protect its residents.
Reaffirming a long-standing demand, the forum said restructuring Nigeria's policing system was essential and that the establishment of state police was now a necessity which should not be delayed any further. Joining us for this conversation this morning is public commentator, Mr. Isaac Fayose. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
Mr. Fayose, the Southwest governor say that the time for state police is now, but it feels like a broken record that we have been singing. We've been talking about state police for the longest time, and there are those who would express concerns about the possibility of abuse and how that might not be such a good option. Do you think that Nigeria is ready for this next step of decentralizing power?
Of course, state police, we can't go forward without state police. State police will solve at least 70% of our security problem. Even state police will boost our revenue. You know, I've been campaigning for state police for the past 5 years, and most especially in the last 2 years, I've made over 100 videos begging the president, and, you know, after a while, they move forward, say, okay, let the governor submit their reports, and we're at this final stage. But I don't know why they stopped. I think they stopped because of their own selfish interest. I think they don't want to do that now. I think they are planning to do it in their second term because they are afraid that the governors might use that to tamper or to rig or to win their elections. So I think we can't solve Nigeria problem without state police. How can 230 million people and we now have one command, federal, it's not possible. 70% of our problems, state police will solve it. Security problem.
All right.
No.
You said it's not possible. I mean, looking at the number, looking at the population in Nigeria, you need state police to be able to bring at least security to the lives and property of every single Nigerian. But let's look at the Southwest in itself. I don't know if you've seen the video of Chief Gani Adams. We did talk about it this morning, and it's a serious statement that he made. I'm going to ask my producers if they have it. We can put it up. I'd like you to watch the video. After watching the video, I'd like to hear your comments about this, because you are a public commentator. You've been talking tough, also talking about your brother, his time in politics up until now. But watch this video. I would like to get your comments on this.
Hold a press conference on Tuesday. And what is the reason behind that press conference? We got an information on a very serious authority that we have been highly infiltrated in the Southwest.
There is already an infiltration.
Infiltration.
By who?
By these terrorists in most of the communities in Yoruba land. You know, Kogi and Kwara, just like a buffer zones to Southwest. And what they are doing in Kogi and Kwara is just a test of ground to start the major attacks in the Southwest. The information in our disposal is that they want to attack Oyo, Ekiti, Ondo, and Lagos.
All right, so he mentioned some of these southwestern states. Do you think that statement made by Chief Gani Adams should be taken with kids' gloves? Should be handled as if nothing is really at stake? And do you agree with him, by the way?
I agree with him. Look at what is going on already in Kwara State. Kwara, Kogi share border with us now. Kwara, Kogi, they share border with the Kebbi State, Ondo State. Come on. They are already inside. Look at what is happening in Kogi.
Kwara already. Of course, they are already inside. And you see, federal government, they know one sledgehammer, state police will solve this problem. I'm telling you, the problem we are having is our politicians, they are playing politics with people's life. That's the truth. Even president agreed with me that state police is the way to go, is the only way to solve this problem. But I think they are waiting for their second term. They are scared because of politics, because of second term. That is why we are where we are. They know the truth. Bible says you shall know the truth shall set you free. They know, they already know without state police, they can solve this problem. You look at the situation of, look at the police level now. Look at their salary is poor. For them to get their pension at WAEC, they sweat to get their pension. But with states, everybody will be okay. They will be able to harmonize, organize these people. How did we get here? State police, one sledgehammer, boom, 70% of our security problem is gone. It's true, the guy is right. And they themselves, they get security reports. The governors, they get security reports. You know, they know that, okay, something is going on around them. But how? They don't have powers. They have to start calling Abuja. Imagine you're a governor, they are just sending commissioner of police to you from another state that is not from your state. How can you protect my village for Ekiti when you don't even know all the corner where they my village? How can you protest for Ekiti? But if we have state police, we have DPO in Afao that is from Afao. He said, hey, Ginodu, now you they carry goats there. We know who is in our forest. But now, they know, but because they don't want the governors to take advantage of that, that is why they are struggling to approve that and let it happen. That's the truth. That's the truth. You know, of course, these people are around us. You can see every day different news. Every day different news. That was the time they were already in Oyo State. That was what brought Sunday Igboho. You understand? You know, but now it's now a serious business because they can see they are cashing out from it. Last weekend or this week, they rescued or released Kwara people. Nobody was killed, no whatever. So obviously, someone must have paid ransom backwards from the back, you know, and it's becoming a business now. Everybody wants to be a kidnapper. Everybody wants to be bandits. Everybody wants to be Boko Haram because they make money, more money than even our security budget. They make more money. The more you carry, the more money you get. So, of course, I won't be surprised before the end of this year you hear, oh, they don't carry someone here, something will happen here, you know. So they know how to solve this problem. A state like Lagos, 25 million people in Lagos. And Lagos does not have Lagos police. They don't have Ikeja police. There is fire on the mountain. Even look at their resources. Are they making money? We have lithium, we have different mineral resources. You see Chinese people carrying our resources out because there's nobody to check them. Federal police doesn't care. You don't understand. But if we have state police, the governor will be getting accurate report.
But are you not worried that state police, just like every other person who agrees with it, there are a few others who don't because they feel that state police will be abused? The police officers will actually work with certain people who are in power to either abuse or carry out instructions that would affect the opposition or a few Nigerians. Are you not worried about that? Because even with at the federal level, we're seeing some issues where police officers, I mean, look at what happened in Wadata Plaza, where different police officers from different factions, from both factions, were actually at loggerheads face-off. And were being used to perpetrate such things. Are you not afraid that it will trickle down to the state level?
My brother, if it's well organized, we have federal, we have states. Federal can checkmate state police. And how, as it is now, is bad. If we have state police, the advantage is more than the disadvantage. I'm telling you, because now they will have federal, they have DSS. Commander-in-chief is still the commander-in-chief of the military. He's still the commander-in-chief of the army, soldier, navy. You understand what I mean? So he can still send his own federal troop or federal police in to checkmate state police. The disadvantage is low than the advantage. The advantage of state police is 80. The disadvantage is 20. And you see the politicians, especially at the federal level, they are scared that for them to rig in the states now with state police, it will be a problem, because then they will now have more people looking at them, more people checking them. You understand? Let's forget about election. Let us look at the advantage, economic value, how it will add value to the state. It will create jobs. This police now, instead of them, this one, they are not working, because federal police as it is, they are not working because they know they won't get their pension. So everybody is just doing roadblock. Let me make what I can make. But with state police, there will be competition. There will be competition. Look at Governor of Zamfara. He came out. He said, we know where all these bandits are. We know their house. They live with us. They are around us. But we don't have the power. And look at the amount of gold we have in Zamfara. Even our country, we don't have gold reserve. You know the amount of gold that is leaking away in Zamfara that state police will solve. State gold can equally bring what crude oil is bringing as we speak right now. But because of selfish reason, we say no, the advantage is more than the disadvantages. I believe state police will solve all these problems. We solve 70%. 70%. That will be competition. Each governor will want to protect their state. Each governor will want to stand for their rights. Each governor will want to protect their people. Government primary job is to protect lives and property. In a situation where you have failed in protecting lives and property, the best thing is to resign or do the needful. State police, the time is now. Time is now.
You say that the time of state policing is now. And, there are many who would agree with you. But we also cannot turn a blind eye to the fact that there are challenges that we will foresee. One of the challenges, like my colleague has mentioned, is the abuse by VIPs, abused by the governors. But let's talk about what currently exists, our structure as currently exists. We've seen the announcement of withdrawal of VIPs yet again, an announcement that we see over and over again of how VIPs are to be withdrawn from, how the police should be withdrawn from VIPs, celebrities, and the likes. With our current structure, what do we need to put in place to ensure that when we then implement state police, we don't repeat the same mistakes that we're currently experiencing with the current system?
My sister, they are already abusing the police force. The system we have now is abused already. They've abused this one already. So state police, I repeat, we add value. Yes, looking at it, we might have a bit of, some governors might use it to do this, do that, do this. But you see, that's where checks and balancing come in. Federal government can have the federal police, like FBI, to check the state police. As simple as that. And withdrawing police from VIP, do you think that is possible? That one is just a political statement. That one is just administrative, because even the IGA, the police hierarchy, that's where they make their money from. Withdraw which celebrity won't buy, which politician won't buy. They will say they are withdrawing your police. You will call them, I will add more money, please don't try it. It's not possible. And you see, you cannot put something on nothing. You want to withdraw their security when we have this kind of issue in Nigeria. No, you can't do that. Instead, allow private security company like what we have in South Africa. I was in Uganda last month. They have the same thing. Allow some private security company to carry arms. So these celebrities, these politicians can pay them to get protection. As it is now, There's no security in Nigeria. You can't travel from Lagos to Kebbi State anything after 4 p.m. You can't travel from Abuja to Abaji anything after 4 p.m. So what we have, there is no security at all. Which celebrity will allow you to withdraw their police? They will say, oh yeah, start coming. That one na paperwork. Even then, in Abuja, they are making money. They make more money from VIPs than protecting you and I, common man on the streets. You know, that one is just, that one is administrative. Yeah, we withdraw we won't pay. There is just difficult, you know. And then again, it is so easy to solve this VIP protection. Look at South Africa. They have a lot of VIP protection security company. And they give them arms. Government licensed those companies to carry arms. And they have their own federal police checking them on how not to abuse these arms. So to stop this thing is so easy.
All right.
It's so easy. It's just we don't have that the federal government, they don't have that political will. They are thinking, oh, let me finish my second term, then I will now approve it. That's what they know, that this state police will solve a lot of problems, 70% of our problem. They know, they are aware. It's just because they are worried. The same way you are saying, oh, they were abusing. That's the same way they are worried. And some of them are saying, okay, don't do it now, let's wait. You know, they know the truth. They know how to solve this problem. They just refuse to solve the problem for their own selfish reasons.
Okay, I mean, you've mentioned the Kebbi State. I mean, it's a state that's very close to your heart, looking at the background and where you come from. But I'd like us to look at the current meeting that was held by the Southwestern governors, and also in particular focusing on the states. Do you think that in this meeting, conversations such as developing the Southwestern states is very important? Because whether you like it or not, we've talked about Ogun State, for instance, here, the roads are deplorable. And while the governor is trying his best to do what he can, people are still saying a lot needs to be done. What's your take on the Southwest working on itself to become a major force to reckon with, especially when it comes to infrastructure and so on? Because if that is fixed, maybe they can also help reduce insecurity. Or what's your take on that?
Oh, you can't put something on nothing. When you come to Abuja to collect allocation every month, it's like a child. Your father is rich. You go to your father every month, they will give you money. You know, you won't be able to work and create jobs. You won't be able to create money, or you won't be able to make money on your own because you're already used to daddy's handouts. Right now, the state, look at cocoa. They use cocoa to build cocoa house during them Awolowo. Now that same cocoa house, then go and check that cocoa house now. Even the governors with cocoa, they can't maintain it. The cocoa farmers in Ekiti are making just 6% of their sweat. That's what they are making, because you get their cocoa, they sell it cheaply to exporters like us. We make the money, we export it outside the country for people that will use it for chocolate and other stuff. What does it cost Ekiti to have chocolate factory? What does it cost Ekiti to have chocolate factory? The answer is the governors are lazy. They are not thinking out of the box. They are used to handouts. And they don't have the right tool to create wealth. Part of the right tool to create wealth is security. Investor cannot go to Ekiti because they know if you go to your farm, they will kidnap you. If you go to your factory, they will kidnap you. So you cannot go to Ekiti State and say, I'm going with 10 million pounds, $10 million to go and invest there, because I will first of all look at the security challenge. What is the security architecture of the state? You understand what I mean? Cocoa alone, look at what cocoa did before we discovered crude oil. Cocoa The whole Southwest is cocoa. Now, what happened to that cocoa? That cocoa is not, how much is cocoa in stock in international market as we speak? How much is red oil? Red oil, palm oil is expensive, more expensive than crude oil as we speak. They have, look at my own state, Agarian State. We have about 2-3 million people there. Out of that 2-3 million people, 2.8 people, they cannot eat this morning. Go there. Later this morning, you will see them playing Ayoloko. They are playing chopping okugu, eating bushmeat. Nothing to do. Apart from Abuad, Alfred Babalola University, that's the last investment we had over 15 years ago. No industry, no nothing. The governor is just going to Abuja, collect his check, share. Do the little he can do, help himself. Everybody can go and sleep. They are creating the next 20-30 years. Kebbi State will have the highest alumanjiri in southwest Nigeria. Because there is no, the youth there, they are graduates. Ekiti is fountain of knowledge. We have a lot of graduates, but the graduates are driving Keke Marua, they are riding Okada. You go to university, read postgraduate, read this BSc, BSc, LLB. Now you end up as Okada rider. No wealth creation, nothing. Agarian State, do you know how much cassava is bringing now? International market. Do you know a lot of product they get from cassava? What does it cost those Ekiti governor to have cassava factory? Then again, it's used to going to Abuja to collect allocation. It's used to going to Abuja, pay salary, they remain, do little job he can do, and help himself. That is it. They are not creating wealth. And part of the structure to create wealth is security. So the government, the federal government is not even giving them the right tools to create wealth. To create wealth. And if you leave these states the way they are going, my brother, in the next 20 years, we will have educated alumanjiri everywhere in Southwest. The whole Southwest, how many states can really stand on their own as it is now? Lagos State, maybe Ogun State. Even Ogun State, they have enough to do. Look at their roads. And when you ask the governor, he will say, no, I'm trying my best. The little I'm getting, because they are not creating wealth. They are waiting for handouts from federal. And they say, oh, this is what we get. This is what we can do. They don't have anything sitting, say, okay, look at the Ekiti health sector. We have 3 million people in Ekiti. Imagine one person from each person from Ekiti is giving federal state government 1,000 naira. Our healthcare will be good. 1,000 a month. If they are sure, if people are sure they will not steal their money, people can pay 1,000 every month. 1,000 times 3 million people. Imagine what our healthcare will look like in a year. Imagine how much they will generate. But as it is now, they can't even generate money because they don't have the system, they don't have life, they don't have security. So they cannot even generate as much as they should because they cannot give what they don't have. And part of generating is security. Security. No security, no investment. And again, our electoral system has affected a lot of things in our country. Our electoral system, because we are doing selection, when you are doing selection, you cannot have the right people handling the right offices. When you select people, you don't understand. Look at it. My state, for example, the governor there is one of the, I'm so sorry, lazy governor in Nigeria now. And President Tinubu is happy to reinforce the man. Why? Because he doesn't want to rock the boat. He is looking for second term, and he believes if I change this guy, it might affect my votes in the state. So let me manage it. So they are managing him. They are managing him now. They are ready for only few people to survive, maybe 10 or 15 of them, while 3 million people sit in their poverty for the next 4 years. We say, let's manage Buhari 4 years. After 4 years, let's manage Buhari another 4 years. Buhari don't do us shege. Buhari don't go meet Baba God. The problem Buhari created, we are still living with it. For how long are we going to continue like this? The majority of our problem is not we don't have money. We have the resources. We have everything. God has given us everything. What we are lacking is the right leadership. The right leader, honest leadership. Honest leaders that will say, no, you need security, have it. You need this, have it. We have everything to survive in our Cocoa alone. Ekiti can be the richest state in Southwest, richer than Lagos.
Mr.
Cocoa
Fayose,
alone.
we hear your frustration, and honestly, this is some of the complaints and the frustration expressed by the average Nigerian. You know, everybody wants a better quality of life. We have so much potential, yet so little is being maximized, you know, with the amount of potential that we have as a nation. Between now and 2027, what will need to change? And do you have faith that that kind of leadership that you're speaking about, that it will be birthed at the polls in 2027?
What do we need to change?
Yes. What will need to change?
We see it's from the top. That's what I'm saying. We are still saying the same thing. The only way we can change our fortune now is from the top. We are at the mercy of federal government. If federal government decides to do what is right today, Nigeria will change. The day you say, oh, I'm a smoker, the day I stop smoking, not just stop smoking, my life will change with my decision. Any decision you make in life, your life changes with that decision. So the only solution is federal government. And how do we get federal government to work? Is by we talking, we protesting, we asking for our rights. I want to tell you, people doesn't know they are even right from wrong again. They put people below poverty level. People are suffering from multi-dimensional poverty level, that even they can sell their vote as low as 3K. They said a man on the floor feareth no fall. They are already on the floor. So they are just rolling on the floor at the mercy of few people. So the only way to change our country now is awareness. Keep talking, letting our people know that you is government of the people, by the people, for the people, not government of selected few, by selected few, for selected few. Is to keep waking them up, keep talking, keep asking for your rights. If you fail to ask for your rights, then they will be looking at you. Say they don't know their right, let's give them whatever we can give them. This system is gone now. I want to tell you something. In Ekiti State, if 1 million, if we have 1,000 people fall sick now, and they go to hospital, and their bill is 1 million naira, I can tell you that out of that 1,000 people, 950 people will die because they don't have the money. They don't have the resources. There is no help from government. There is no help from anywhere. It's every man for himself. God for us, God for us all. But that shouldn't be. That's not supposed to be the case. Government is supposed to be there for us, and it's their right. But they've taken their right from them by, first of all, by taking their thumb away, by taking their rights to elect their leaders away. Go to Ekiti right now. Ask on the street, the governor cannot get 18% total vote cast in that state. But the governor is so sure of himself that election day, I will buy votes. And police will help me. Federal will help me. They will return me for another 4 years. So the people too are looking. We are powerless. There is nothing we can do. They will cuckoo write their result. Let me just collect this 3,000. Let me just collect this 5,000. Edibo, Esebe. Vote, go and cook still. Just for that day. They've taken people's dignity away.
That's a sad reality there, like you mentioned.
They've taken their dignity away. They've taken their rights away. That's the truth. And when you ask them, they said they know. They know, but what can we do? They will still write the result anyway. Let me just go and cook still. When you turn people to that, you are creating, look at the North. They've been shouting for 30, 40 years. Look at the amount of Alumanjeri. Now, those Alumanjeri, many of them are turning to bandits now. And they are so easy to convert. When you are hungry, your enemy will give you food. You will say, thank you. When you are hungry, you are at your enemy's mercy. You don't even know enemy from anything because you are hungry. Yoruba saying, when you are hungry, anybody that gives you food, I've seen a father calling his son. Wale, your father using air for son. That's poverty for you.
Well, a lot said and done right there. I think we did have a little network connectivity there, but just in case you're not able to reconnect. Anyway, thank you so much, public commentator Mr. Isaac Fayose, for speaking with us. We really wanted to delve deeper into looking at the southwestern states. I also do understand that along the line in our conversation during the week, we'll also be speaking to a key member from the southwest who will be joining us here on Breakfast Central to speak on governance as well, and would highlight some of these points that you've raised here with us. I want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for speaking with us.
So much for inviting me.
Yes, as we wrap up, I wanted to ask if you've settled any rift with your brother, or is there still rift in the offing? Because I did see a video of your mom. Your mom also spoke as well. And I wondered why the family is coming online.
Yeah, you see.
Has it been settled?
Yeah, you see, that is Nigeria factor. I love my brother. Loving my brother doesn't mean I cannot correct my brother. They said, Isaac, why are you so rude to your brother? That's so rude. But remember, this my same brother just abused Obasanjo yesterday. And Obasanjo is old enough to be our father. You understand? So when you say the truth in Africa, they take it the wrong way. I love my brother, but truth is bitter. I love him so much. But for the sake of peace and for the sake of my mother, I will keep my mouth shut. But my brother, if you can abuse Obasanjo, remember your brother can abuse you too. So please, when you talk to Obasanjo these days, mercy. Remember, the man is old enough to be our father. I love you still.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. All right. Talk to you again. Well, the show continues. Breakfast Central will go on a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at another very interesting conversation. The federal government has made a very strong statement concerning ranching and grazing. Stay with us. Morning, sir.
Can
you hear us?
Very well. Can you hear me too?
Yes, we can hear you. Though your camera is a bit blurry, the framing is good. It's just a bit blurry. You're using a laptop, I believe?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I don't think there's anything we can do about that. Okay.
I would prefer I use the...
do you need him to... Is there headroom? Do you need him... Okay, if you're just going to sit back, it will be fine. If you sit back.
Sit back like this?
Yes, this is fine. Okay, can you move a little to your right? So you can be in the center. Yes. Okay, this is fine. As long as you're sitting back too. Yes, if you move forward, if you lean forward, it will cut off your hair. All right, thank you. This is good. Thank you so much.
Is this very blurry?
Sorry? This is good. This is fine.
Blurry.
This is fine. This is good.
Okay.
All right, we'll be coming.
Nigeria has launched a phased transition plan from open grazing to modern ranching, aiming to reduce farmer-herder conflicts and modernize livestock production. This move comes just as the country's Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mokhtar Maher, clarified this week that open grazing has not been banned, but the government is now implementing a gradual, structured transition to ranching. The goal, you may ask, to modernize livestock production, reduce deadly farmer-herder conflicts, and create a more sustainable livestock economy. The country currently has 273 gazetted grazing reserves covering over 4.5 billion hectares. The plan is to revitalize and equip these reserves in partnership with state governments, providing pastoralists with viable alternatives to nomadic herding. Open grazing has been linked to violent clashes, especially in the Middle Belt and southern states. Will this transition plan help address the problem? Now, joining us for this discussion is the Director General, Nigeria Young Farmers Network, Promise Amaha. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me, and good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning. So now the conversation and the concern with open grazing has been one about many who argue that it is a foundation to part of the issues we have in terms of farmer-herder conflicts, as well as looking at the fact that we should be moving to what global best practices should uphold. So let's get your thoughts first about open grazing and how it is being implemented in Nigeria.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate that we're still doing open grazing in Nigeria in 2025. That's an obsolete practice, and unfortunately, it has become a recipe for the disaster we're now experiencing across the country, especially at subnational level. So it's old-fashioned, it's unproductive, it doesn't bring out the best in the value chain, the cattle value chain, which is worth billions of dollars. And we shouldn't be doing open grazing in 2025 when we have options like modern ranching and micro cottage industries from the value chain. So just keeping it simple, open grazing is obsolete, old-fashioned, and should not be talked about, not even now in 2025 in Nigeria.
If I get you correctly, it's something that we shouldn't even look into, as you've rightly mentioned, but we're still practicing it till today. Do you think everyone, especially when I mean everyone, I'm talking about the northern states, the Middle Belt, do you think they will be open to this idea? Or do you think it's going to be a hard one to actually change the stance from open grazing to ranching?
Well, on a lighter note, speaking about the demography I represent, you could now see that young herdsmen across the country, especially in the northern region, are now mostly on TikTok. They are now on social media. That shows you clearly the willingness and interest in modern transition to more modern practices that will enable not just the herdsmen, but everybody, the stakeholders within the value chain. So I think basically the challenge is lack of public trust and confidence. We're here to embed that inclusiveness within the value chain to be able to elicit the necessary and much needed public trust and confidence across all critical players within the value chain. So I'm very, very confident that if a proper strategic communication through public enlightenment program is deployed around the northern area to enhance the capacity and knowledge of herdsmen, I think basically they will be able to migrate really quickly to what not just only works for them, but improves their livelihood, enhances their income, and also makes them better for it economically. So that's basically what I think. It's a major gap between public enlightenment and capacity building, and also a deliberate effort by government to improve infrastructure, right? Improve infrastructure and then market modern ranching, modern cattle management to this crop of guys that we have now. And within a short period of time, the transition will happen. They're already very technology savvy and interested in technology, as you can see, practically. So I'm not sure there will be a challenge in that transition, as the case may be.
So you speak about what these benefits are for us to keep up with modern best practices, and You speak about why we shouldn't be talking about open grazing in 2025, but is there a consideration about the fact that there are those who would tell you that open grazing is a part of their culture and a part of their tradition, and that kicking against that is strongly kicking against the fabrics of what makes them a people?
Yeah, so that's why if you remember, I mentioned and emphasized the need for public trust and confidence in building the general consensus around it. So culture in itself even evolves. Once the people see good intention and good purposes, and you have that, you galvanize that public trust and confidence, of course, basically they will be able to, so part of the original culture was not to handle mobile phones or to utilize mobile phones. But these folks are on TikTok, they're on social media, they're on Instagram, they're active. They've been able to evolve into modern technology, embracing modern technology. So I think basically it's a matter of having a balancing act, making sure that, introducing modern technology that will enhance their livelihood, enhance their processes. They see it as not inimical to their, or not poses no negative threats to their original cultures, and they can easily evolve. A lot has changed over time. So this whole issue of culture and being fixated on the cultural norms and how people would feel about their culture being interrupted as a result of introducing modern technologies can only be nuanced with proper confidence building, public enlightenment, and hand-holding them through the process of migration into what will work for them, not just in the short term, but obviously in the long term.
Okay. I'm fully aware, and Nigerians also have heard of the Ministry of Livestock Development that was created by the current administration. I just want to find out from you, have farmers, everyone in agriculture, has there been any benefit since this ministry was created? Have you benefited at all from this ministry? And then we also hear that the minister, Mr. Maga, said he was going to create, he was going to take a few hectares of land in different parts of the country. Take, for instance, 500 hectares from the Middle Belt to create an opportunity for ranching. So have you heard of anything concerning this, and have you benefited at all since the ministry was created?
Well, I'm not holding brief for the minister, but I've been privileged to be invited to several of their stakeholder engagements. And I must say that this is an impressive minister that understands what needs to be done. After his appointment and in his rollout, he has engaged stakeholders across board to pick the minds of, he's an inclusive minister, a minister that believes in inclusion, in developing an organic program that will work for everybody. And that's what is needed, basically. So in stakeholder mobilization, I think you'd score this minister an A, because he's gone across the country engaging with various demographic of stakeholders, young farmers like us, cattle herders, local farmers, value chain actors across board, and has been consistently doing this back-to-back, gathering baseline information that will enable implementation of the National Livestock Transformation Plan and also the Presidential Livestock Initiative. So I'm really impressed with what the minister is doing, and it's a bottom-top approach. It's building a firm foundation that will sustain any initiative, unlike what we've had in the past. And that is very, very impressive. Coming to the point of implementation, yes, we have started to see consultations. A lot of MOUs have been signed with private sector on ranch development. Lands have been set aside through collaborative effort of government and private sector for these issues. And we hope to see in the coming weeks and months a more concerted efforts into amplifying the value chain, because I'm more concerned about how you market the plan, right? And that's what builds confidence, both in the private sector, young people, and especially because of these conflicts, in the farmer head conflicts that's existing now. So basically, we're seeing a minister that is that understands the challenge and the job that needs to be done, with also a very capable permanent secretary trying to reposition this sector, and we're here to see it. Just to also chime in about it, we need to also, kind of balance the whole conversation about the cattle value chain or the livestock value chain, because a lot is done on the consumption side of things. For example, On the average, Lagos consumes about 5,000 cattle heads daily, only Lagos State. And this is an average because, of course, the Lagos Butcher Association has that as 5,000, but now it has dropped because of conflict to 3,000. The Lagos State government has their own figure at 6,000 cattle heads daily. And the general information is that at optimum, they are doing 7,000. But let's take a 500 benchmark, 5,000 benchmark, and look at what we are doing in the livestock industry. That projection helps you to think out loud on the opportunity for job creation, opportunity for enhancing our livestock value chain, and you see things a bit differently. 5,000 cattle heads daily for 30 days in a month. These guys are doing 150,000 cattle. So per annum, on the average, Lagos is consuming 1.8 million cattle annually. And that's just one state. And this is strictly consumption. The consumable and non-consumable byproducts are not even factored into this conversation, not at all. Nobody is talking about the huge opportunity of FBS, the fetal bovine serum, which is a critical component for pharmaceutical and medical development that is in high demand. That can earn us foreign exchange, for goodness sake, can earn us good money, because it's used for vaccine productions, it's used for various medical and pharmaceutical productions, as the case may be. Nobody's talking about tallows. Tallows is fat that comes from this livestock, from cattle, that can be used for production of candles, soaps, and even, for goodness sake, cooking oils. All right. So, this is the area where I expect and I want to see and engage with the Ministry of Livestock Development to kind of create more public enlightenment, to make this more exciting across the value chain by looking at both the value-added products and the value chain in itself. Introduce cottage abattoirs. We know these are the issues that we want to see beyond just going to set aside land for grazing and building modern grazing and feedlots and the rest of them. There's more to this. We need a more holistic approach to be able to develop the livestock industry.
Thank you very much for sharing these suggestions for the Ministry of Livestock. When we come back, I want us to take the conversation to a slightly different angle, looking at what opportunities there are for those interested in exploring a career path in agriculture. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to Breakfast Central. We're still exploring the livestock industry, the transition from open grazing to a more modern system of ranching. And we're joined this morning by the Director General, Nigeria Young Farmers Network, Promise Amaha. Thank you very much, Promise, for staying with us. Now let's talk about what opportunities lie ahead, or what opportunities there are in the industry, in the farming space, or in the livestock space for young aspiring farmers, for those who already are there, for those looking to go there. Because for the longest time, if I remember, we've been talking about diversification of the economy, and one of the sectors that have been, put forward as an industry that can be used to diversify our economy is agriculture. So what opportunities would you say exists within this space, and how can young farmers as well as aspiring young farmers, take advantage of these opportunities?
So basically, the opportunities I'm going to be talking about are not the usual opportunities like that from production to consumption, but some more unconventional opportunities that young people can immediately take advantage of. Young people are content creators and doing so well in the social media space. Digital optimization, digital value chain optimization within the livestock industry provides a huge opportunity. And sometimes all you just need to have as a capital is information. Information about available livestock in different locations. Facilitating business linkage is a function of information. So information is the most important capital when you look at the livestock value chain, as the case may be. Beyond that, at the primary end of things, you look at what you need to support cattle production or livestock production, including the animal feed, the vaccines, and the rest of it that are necessary to produce the cattle and the livestock to table for consumption. And beyond that, again, you have multiple opportunities in like the areas I mentioned. If you're a biomedic, because what we're doing in Nigeria Young Farmers Network is beyond the traditional. It's helping young people see the bigger picture, that you don't need to be a headsman to be part of the billion-dollar livestock industry. That as a biomedic and as a trained pharmacist, opportunities that earn you millions of dollars are available in this around the byproducts of livestock, both consumable and non-consumable byproducts, right? In animal feed production, for example, one of the critical components is the bone meals and the blood meals. And if you go to most of the abattoirs across the country, it's very insightful to see what happens and how they do away with the blood that comes out of the livestock during slaughter and stuff like that. But a smart young entrepreneur that understands the market of blood meal, for example, for livestock feed production, takes advantage of it and decides to collect this blood and process it as blood meal for livestock production. And that keeps, let me illustrate so that vividly we can be able to internalize these things, especially for the young people listening to me right now, because this is what we're about to partner with the Nigerian Federal Ministry of Livestock Development to go an all-out public enlightenment national campaign across the country, so that we are able to unbundle these things for young people to see, to make not just only agriculture attractive, but to unlock the opportunities, to show the opportunities, to connect young people to the opportunities that we're talking about in the value chain, right? So, I was going to also now emphasize on the other opportunities beyond the blood meal, the bone meal, and the table. Connecting these headers. Dairy is a big area, for goodness sake. Processing dairy into yogurt and into other consumables that we have as milk in Nigeria is a huge opportunity that can be achieved through, what we call micro livestock development, right? In collaboration with the guys already producing and rearing this cattle, right? In the cosmetic area too, you have huge opportunities that you can also unlock the value chain and value-added services from livestock to support the cosmetic industry, to support the pharmaceutical industry, to support the medical industry in serum production, the tallows for cooking oil, plethora of opportunities, so we don't get fixated on consumption alone as the only opportunity. The livestock industry has so much potential that can take a lot of our young people out of joblessness and unemployment. It could reduce the current issue of unemployment we're having across the country. But we need to reimagine it. We need to embark on a strategic communication program that will start to show young people and teach them what can be done effortlessly and connect them to the markets that are available. Connecting them to the markets are very, very, very important. So, from pre-production, like I mentioned, you have the opportunities for further production. We have grasses that are grown within a short period of time that young people can take advantage of and, go into the business of production, further production to support the livestock industry. We have the vaccines and the medicine required for livestock support, livestock health management. And again, you go from there to connecting information, connecting markets, livestock connecting markets. Like, for example, Lagos is consuming 1.8 million cattle every year. The economics of that is insane. The opportunities are insane. De-emphasizing that this is just consumption and looking at how you can explore the byproducts, consumable and non-consumable byproducts from 1.8 million cattle that Lagos in itself consumes. So using Lagos State as a case study, if there's a partnership between the Nigerian young farmers and the Lagos State government, for example, we start to make more sense and generate more opportunity, income, and potential from what they consume in a year. 1.8 million cattle that can support the animal feed industry, that can support cooking oils, that can support the production of candles, that can support pharmaceutical services, and the rest of them. I know Lagos is blessed with the opportunity that you can easily also facilitate exports because of its positioning. So you can only just best imagine the innumerable opportunities and jobs that can be created for young people within the southwestern region of Nigeria, just leveraging on what only Lagos consumes in a year. That's 1.8 million cattle. I have not talked about the heights and skill potential. What can be done with the heights and skill for most of our young people that are into
fashion,
later works, and the rest of them. So it's limitless, and this is a good time and a good opportunity to now embark on decentralizing the value chain, providing information for young people to see instant, just a phone call away, just an information away, and your income is guaranteed. You have access to sustainable livelihood through the livestock industry.
Well, I think you've said every single thing we need to hear. And looking at this, hopefully, we always like to end hopefully with the word hopefully. It will be actually used for the advantage of every single Nigerian. But then again, the security issues, as you've highlighted, can equally be solved when certain things are put in place. Thank you so much for talking to us, and thanks for taking time out to speak with us. We've been actually having this conversation. We've been talking to the Director General, Nigeria Young Farmers Network, Mr. Promise Amaha. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, away from that, let's go back to one of the biggest stories. With the security situation across Nigeria continuing to degenerate, some members of the House of Representatives have called for the decentralization of the nation's police force and the need to put deliberate measures to address the current insecurity crisis. Following a special session presided by the Speaker of the House of Representatives on the rising insecurity challenges across the nation, lawmakers reviewed the scale of recent attacks and proposed urgent legislative measures aimed at strengthening national response. Our correspondent, Idong Joseph, tells us more in this report.
Rest in peace.
In a solemn session, lawmakers said the nation is confronted with what could be described as one of the most challenging moments in recent years. Killings, coordinated attacks, and targeted abductions across several states.
The decision of this House to suspend all other matters to focus on national security is therefore neither symbolic nor procedural. It reflects the seriousness of the moment.
The Speaker of the House, Abbas Tajuddin, in his opening remarks, says that his visit to Kebbi State, where school children were kidnapped, shows deliberate attempts by terror groups to destabilize and incite fear in the hearts and minds of residents, but urged citizens not to be afraid.
They aim to create the impression that violent groups can act without restraint. They focus on soft and vulnerable targets.
After observing a minute's silence for those killed during several attacks, the House leader gave an update of security situation and efforts by the government to address them.
The Lake Chad Basin and Sambisa Forest remain launching pads for sporadic attacks and criminal activity. In the southeast, quickly, separatist unrest, criminality, and weaponization for legitimate agitations.
Principal officers also raised concerns, saying that the challenges range from porous nature of the nation's border, the tradition of negotiating with bandits, and payment of ransom. They called for the creation of National Border Force, emphasized the need for community policing, and improved funding for the police force.
We want to do everything to displace the opponent, to make the entire government ungovernable. Bring in people from outside the shores of this country because our borders are porous. We only have boundaries on the map.
The practice continues because it is alleged that government entities negotiate with bandits and pay ransom.
Representatives from the southern region blame community members for some of the attacks.
People driving Chaba or Kada, whatever name you may call it in your own area, that gives information to the kidnappers.
With all presentations focused on the challenges and possible solutions to the current crisis, the session will continue with all lawmakers giving situation reports on what is transpiring in their constituency. In Abuja for News Central, Idong Joseph.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Good conversation. I think we can take a leave or borrow a leave from the United States of America. And Nigeria's Green Chamber is also championing the cause to ensure that insecurity is highlighted. Looking at the salaries of Nigeria's police officers is also another conversation that we cannot but help talk about whenever you mention insecurity and Nigeria's security architecture. If a police officer does not earn well, then how will he be able to focus and do his job appropriately, ensuring that he provides security, the needed one? And don't forget, too, that just last week you did have former police officers who also staged another protest, still asking for their wages, or better still, asking for what belongs to them. They've worked very, very hard all through the years, and upon retirement, they need to receive their gratuity, and you can go ahead and mention whatever benefits or bonuses that belongs or is due them. But they still haven't gotten that. We did have some of them who explained that in a few packages that we brought to you. But this conversation is one we will continue, whether you like it or not. We'll bring to you more stories in a moment. Let's go on a quick break. Up next will be the breakfast headlines. It will be followed closely with the front pages of the newspapers. You're watching News Central's Breakfast Central. Stay with us.
Welcome to Breakfast Central's Breakfast Headlines. Now we begin with updates on the state of insecurity. All female students kidnapped from a school in Maga community of Kebbi State have been freed. Security sources confirmed to journalists that the students were freed on Tuesday. The abduction of the girls had sparked nationwide outrage and intensified concerns over the safety of students in northern Nigeria, following a pattern of similar attacks in the region. 25 students were kidnapped on 17th November from the Government Girls Comprehensive School in Maga, Kebbi State by armed bandits. The chief security officer of the school, who was mistaken for its vice principal, was killed during the attack, while one of the students later escaped. Meanwhile, the United Nations has condemned what it described as a surge in mass kidnappings in north-central Nigeria, calling on the Nigerian government to take urgent steps to halt the attacks and bring perpetrators to justice. This is according to the UN Rights Office spokesman Tamin Al-Kitan. His comments came following abductions of hundreds of Nigerians, including almost 350 school children, in a matter of days. He called on Nigerian authorities to ensure the safe return of all those still in captivity to their families and to prevent further abductions. He was speaking amid a pressing debate about the persistent security crisis gripping the country. Still talking security, Governor of Kogi State, Usman Ododo, met with security chiefs to strengthen security in the state. The security chiefs at the meeting included Olufemi Oluyede, Chief of Defense Staff, Waidi Shaibu, Chief of Army Staff, Kayode Egbetokun, Inspector General of Police, and Tosin Ajayi, Director General of the Department of State Services. Kingsley Fanwo, State Commissioner for Information and Communications, said the engagements were quite fruitful, noting that they were geared towards deepening collaboration with national security agencies. Fanwo recalled that Governor Ododo had earlier met with the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. He further commended the President's efforts in enhancing national security and the prompt intervention during the abduction incident in Erupt, Kwara State. The federal government has denied report of ban on open grazing. In an official statement signed by the head of press and public relations of the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development, Ogenekewe Uchechukwu, the Minister of Livestock Development, Alhaji Idi Maiha, confirmed no such policy is in place. Rather than an outright ban, the government is gradually transitioning from open grazing to more modern ranching systems. And away from that, President Bola Tinubu has forwarded the Legal Practitioners Bill 2025 to the Senate, seeking sweeping reforms to strengthen regulation and professional standards within Nigeria's legal space. Reading the communication during Tuesday's plenary, Senate President Godswill Akpabio said the proposed law aims to replace the existing Legal Practitioners Act with a modern framework that prioritizes public interest, integrity, and ethical conduct in legal practice. The bill proposes key changes, including a legal practitioners disciplinary committee with powers to sanction erring lawyers, a mandatory 2-year pupillage, continuous professional education, and standardized licensing procedures featuring official stamps and seals.
The bill repeals the Legal Practitioners Act, Cap. L11, Laws of the Federation, 2004, which was enacted into law in 1962. The draft bill introduces a new legal framework strengthening the regulation of the legal profession in Nigeria and providing necessary reforms to enhance professional standards, discipline, mechanisms, and public confidence in legal practice in Nigeria. That legal practitioners play a crucial role in upholding justice, the rule of law, and access to justice. However, evolving challenges with respect to regulating professional conduct, licensing of legal practitioners, as well as establishing appropriate disciplinary measures and legal practice standards, necessitate a modern and comprehensive review of our legal service framework. The bill makes provision for greater accountability, stronger professional ethics, and a more transparent regulatory structure for legal practitioners in Nigeria.
The Sudanese army has announced it successfully repelled an attack by the Rapid Support Forces, RSF, on the strategic city of Babanusa in southern Kordofan. This comes just one day after the RSF declared a unilateral 3-month ceasefire. Babanusa holds key importance as the army's last stronghold in West Kordofan, located on a vital highway leading to Darfur. The army reported destroying several RSF vehicles, capturing others, and killing numerous RSF commanders and fighters. However, these claims cannot be independently confirmed due to a communication blackout in the area. The RSF's ceasefire was said to respond to international mediation, including efforts by the Quad Group led by US, Saudi Arabia, UAE, and Egypt. Tanzania has cancelled next month's Independence Day celebrations, with the funds to be instead spent on rebuilding infrastructure damaged in recent election unrest. This is according to the country's Prime Minister, Mwigulu Nchemba, and his announcement comes as the opposition and others have been calling for people to gather on Independence Day, 9th of December, to demonstrate about the killings that took place following last month's disputed poll. The opposition believes hundreds of people died in the crackdown. The government has yet to give a death toll and has set up a commission of inquiry. And that's all at this hour. We will now continue with Breakfast Central. Please stay with us. My name is Olive Emodi.
Welcome back. Breakfast Central continues, this time with the front pages of the newspapers. And who else do we have joining us for the grand analysis, like you love to call it? We do have international journalist of repute, Mr. Habib Aruna.
Drum roll. Good to have you here, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Great, always great.
We'll not waste time. We'll go straight into the paper so we can have our guests join in. You can call the number you'd find on the screen shortly and share your contributions and also tell us what you think. Your opinions do count whenever you come on this platform.
Yeah.
But let's go straight to the first paper. Let's go to the Punch. Let's give you what the Punch is saying. On the front pages, okay, all right. Yeah, let's start with Vanguard. Not bad. Let's see what Vanguard has to say very quickly. Kebbi, Niger schools abductions, US to share intel, demands action. Are you excited about this? But I'm just asking the audience, okay? We'll come back to that and see what is being said there. Let's see more on the front pages as well and see more papers and see what they're saying very quickly. Find out what Nigerians would also love to say concerning that. But let's see, that story, I'm going to leave that story. Let me go to the Punch. Kidnapping spree escalates as federal government negotiates hostages' freedom. That's what we hear on the front pages of the Punch. Also,
see the
18
numbers.
mothers, children, others abducted in fresh Kano, Kwara raids, Kebbi girls freed, federal government defense negotiations with bandits. That's what the Punch says. Wike bloc asked court to nullify PDP convention. Sanwo-Olu presents 4.2 trillion naira 2026 Lagos budget. Let me also use this medium to quickly apologize on the paper that was put there. We're focusing on the Punch right now, so let's take a look at that. CCB plans digital assets declaration to curb corruption. I'm not going to go straight into all the stories. We have our analyst in house. Let's just go straight to our very first story. We'd like him to share his thoughts on kidnapping spree. Escalates as federal government negotiates hostages' freedom. There's a video also online with in quotes, the abductors said, yes, they negotiated with the federal government. They also made a video showing when they were talking with a representative from the government. I don't know, what do you make out of this? The entire thing.
Personally, as expected, the issue of insecurity takes precedence, prominence in all the papers in the last 3-4 days. Today again, that is the issue on the front page. Issue that concerns Nigerians. You know, I'm not particularly comfortable when the federal government is negotiating with terrorists. You can negotiate with abductors if they are foreign, in a foreign land. They kidnap your citizens. You can negotiate with them. You know, pay ransom so they can be released. When non-state actors in your country are becoming too bold, too audacious, and too dangerous, posing threat to national security, I don't think the federal government should negotiate with them. The federal government has not been decisive enough. Everything has been enmeshed, shrouded in politics. There are concerns that even with these videos, the general that was killed, look at what the wife said, many things, implicitly, that the husband was not left to be killed just like that, and that they are not taking action, they are not killing. If you kill those jihadists, according to what we are hearing, you'll be in trouble. So there's no decisive action. So for the government to not confirm what will be hearing from the grapevine, and they are negotiating with them, I don't think it's good enough. By negotiating, we are reacting. A government should be proactive enough. Go after these people. They don't deserve to live. If we are making our life to be heinous in this country, the government should be decisive and take action. You know, I personally don't think negotiating with terrorists is the best. You know, and the feeling out there, the concern out there is that soldiers are not emboldened. If they want to do something against out of above, they are either sacked or court-martialed. So this is not too clear to me. You know, and it's right time the federal government do the right thing. You know, act swiftly and decisively, and anybody that is posing threat to our national security, but it should be eliminated. And not there's nothing like negotiation.
Shegumi will not agree with you in what you are saying. You know, we often hear him saying that Shegumi would explain the mindset of a number of these bandits, and he would tell you that he's very pro non-kinetic approach, pro peace deals, pro having conversations with them.
We've been hearing this thing for long, my sister. We've been hearing, again, they're dealing with who? Pay ransom? They say they've not paid ransom. We know there's something that got on the table. So there's no decisiveness.
So do you believe that the victims that have just been released and reunited with their families, do you believe that ransom was paid?
I can't say you categorically, but I cannot also agree with that statement that nothing was paid. I was not there, but I cannot be convinced that nothing was paid. If you listen to what this man said yesterday or 2 days ago, Senator Shehu Sani said the northern political class, they are playing politics with security. But what he's saying implicitly, explicitly rather, is that if they want this thing to stop within a week, to stop. So what are we talking about?
Is it not the...
And my concern is that if they continue like this thing will consume them too. We consume them. Okay. Then now look at the trend, the pattern. They abduct school children. Abduct them in Christian schools. They adopt women. Where are the men? Why they don't abduct? There are many questions to be answered, my brother.
Well,
but my worry, my deep worry, is that we are negotiating. Negotiating with who?
You know.
When you know where they are, you eliminate them.
The issue of the
negotiation.
Just to mention, the issue of the negotiation was not initially accepted or applauded by a few Nigerians. Some even doubted, especially from other side, that negotiations were not what you really thought. But we spoke with them, and they decided to hand them over for fear of.
That you understand what
until the bandits, the terrorists themselves now release their own video with the audio conversation.
But before we get into that, just to mention to our audience that we want you to be a part of this. We want you to call the numbers on your TV screen. I would also want you to go on YouTube. We're streaming live. Drop your thoughts. I'll take a few comments from YouTube. Please drop your comments regarding any of the stories, and I'll intermittently visit YouTube. Prince Ajibade says, commending the security for what exactly? You went to the bandits market to buy your girls that were abducted. There's nothing commendable about that. Mokuye Chukwuemeka, in reaction to Bayo Onanuga speaking about Peter Obi supporting the support of or applauding the support of the US, Mokuye Chukwuemeka says, look at what the mindset of Bayo Onanuga, whenever Obi talks, they become social media warriors. Felix Okechukwu says, even the non-kinetic looks cowardly. There's some comments I can't take here. Annie Chinedu Brown says, military personnel were deployed, and at the most critical juncture of their responsibility, another was given for withdrawal. And you are still in the misty morning on why insecurities persist. When terrorists and the military share the same commanders, that is what you get.
There's also an update. The terrorists now, how have we gotten to this level? The terrorists are now also doing press release.
Before. No, but they've been doing press release.
No, this time their account kept toe to toe. Before terrorists would put out one statement and they will keep quiet, they've spoken. Now there's another press release that's on the news desk, and it says, terrorist dispute rescue operation, rescue operation claimed by federal government. Say girls were freed following a peace deal. Now they're saying that some of the terrorists who held the abducted Kebbi State students have taunted the Nigerian government, stating that claiming that state power played no role in the students' release, and insisted that only discussions with important people make the freedom possible. That the government had no hold.
So we understand what is going on now. So who do we trust?
Who are the important
people? We trust on this,
Okay.
And the concern, therefore, what we can deduce, therefore, is that the security of Nigerians is what is into play here. We are not really sure who's saying who. We don't know who to believe. So the federal government has responsibility to protect Nigerians. And I insist the federal government should be decisive. This should be apolitical. Security and welfare of Nigeria should be apolitical. Go after these people that are causing problems in the country, that are abducting our children, our mothers. Go after them and eliminate them. That is the only way to go. If you negotiate with them, they have to come back. And the idea of reacting, to me, is simplistic. The government should be proactive. Go after them before they do anything dangerous.
Okay.
For well-being.
Let's take a few more stories on the front page of the paper box.
And the idea of saying that America is only dead, I think America is needed.
So you support what
we say? No. If you cannot, you cannot take care of your household, you should seek help. No, I'm not. The government, Nigerian government, Nigerian military, they have the capacity, Johansson, to do this job. But unfortunately, for obvious reasons, they've got the dues. They're not doing it. So if US is now saying that we're not doing enough, US is saying that there's genocide in the country. And interestingly, you now see these terrorists invading and abducting girls in Christian schools, validating what America is saying. So people that are saying that America should come in and help, they are not to say something bad. If we cannot do it, then we should seek for help. How simple as that?
We can see here, Pius Amako says, New Central, thanks for being the fresh air and fresh breath in Nigeria. Thank you for that compliment. He then says, this federal government gives the impression that it supports terrorism. Not one single terrorist caught or killed during all this. This is, of course, in reaction to the recent wave of kidnappings that have occurred. All right, let's quickly move to the Nigerian Tribune and take a few more stories on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. On that front page, Tinubu orders aerial surveillance of Kwara, Niger, Kebbi Forest. Again, bandits attack Kwara community, abduct 11 residents. State government sets up safer Kwara security committee to curtail breaches. 10 kidnapped in Kano border communities. Amotekun commences patrol of boarding schools in Oyo. 24 kidnapped Kebbi schoolgirls regain freedom. Sanwo-Olu presents 4.2 trillion naira 2026 appropriation bill to Lagos Assembly. CBN retains monetary policy rate at 27%. MPC decision lowers banks' funding costs, expected to spur lending to SME. This is said by experts. Wow. This is a very interesting one. Health. Skin lightening product use is high in children under 2 years in Nigeria.
I saw one.
According to a study.
I saw
so
one.
Parents are bleaching their children.
I saw one. I saw it. And just to mention here.
Skin lightening products. People are bleaching. They said the report is saying that it's high in the use of children under the age of 2 in Nigeria.
I said I saw one. This girl, a small girl, wasn't up to maybe 3 years. She was already turning red. Had her skin here red, and you could see the mom. The mom made us know, okay, this is what is going on. Because the mom, her legs and everything, you could tell, same thing. You could
so
tell.
How do we find?
We're like, why?
How do we draw the line? And shouldn't that constitute some form of abuse?
Of course.
If you put your child in harm's way, as an adult on your own, if you decide to bleach your skin, you understand the impact and the consequences. Shouldn't parents who bleach their children be treated with the same disdain like parents who introduce their children to substances like alcohol and weed and the like? Shouldn't they get that same level of disdain?
I think it should be a criminal offense.
It is.
And I think government should also come in with a policy statement stopping it. But to me, it's crazy. It's nonsensical.
They say
even in adult.
Yeah,
if I see an adult bleaching, do I feel? I don't look at you as a human being because of the health implication. Ultimately, it will affect your health.
Yeah.
So I do not have temporary beauty, as against your well-being as a person.
To be honest, as an adult, you can do whatever you want. Again, just leave the children out of your mind.
It is the adult that transfer those things to their children. That's what I'm saying.
Innocent.
Well, fair point. Why I say this? Because we started the show with a story that is incredibly mad of a woman in Delta State who was sexually abusing her daughter. Her
3-year-old. Yeah.
Not 1, 3.
And then started from 8 months, when they were 8 months.
All right. Let's move to another story on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune. Kidnapping. NUC threatens nationwide shutdown of schools. It would seem that when Boko Haram started, we knew that Boko Haram was completely against Western education. We're not quite sure what the agenda of the current wave of terrorists are, what their ideology is. Boko Haram, we knew, was saying that Western influence is haram. We're not sure what the rest of them are about.
We cannot divorce it.
But yes, we can't completely.
We can't divorce it from this belief that girls should not be educated.
But do you then agree that, because when we talked about the schools shutting down, there have been two sides of the argument. One argument that says it's important for us to be preemptive. If we see that schools are a soft target, we end up securing the schools or shutting them down until we can secure them. But the others who say we're then dancing to the tune that the terrorists have played because this is exactly what they want.
Yes, these jihadists, they behave in a very funny way. I mean, I'm a Muslim, but I'm not dogmatic Muslim. I don't believe in all this nonsense they're doing. They don't believe that girls' child should be educated. If you go and read the book of Malala, Malala explained everything. And Malala was to be killed because she was saying that girls in Pakistan must be educated. Now, these jihadists don't believe that education should be the main thing for especially girls' child. And that is why, presumably, they attack girls' schools and abduct girls that are in schools in boarding house.
Fair.
And it's unfortunate that we've not been able to protect these children from being abducted. That is why I like what the federal commentator. I said this last week in the program, that the number of policemen protecting VIPs in Nigeria are enough to secure our schools. And thank God the president came out just a few days ago that yes,
they've given
it should be removed to go to their primary duty. I hope that instruction will remain. Because it's difficult to be obeyed. In Nigeria, individuals are more powerful than decisions, unfortunately. Also, but if it's obeyed, we have more soldiers, less on checkpoints, less securing big men, the so-called capricious VIPs, and more protecting left property of Nigerians.
Okay.
Especially our students in schools.
Let's take a call from Abia. We have Uche calling. Good morning, Uche. Thank you for calling. Please go ahead.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this issue of insecurity, personally, I don't think federal government is serious about it. That's my opinion. For instance, they have the names of the sponsor for terrorism. What is holding their hand? Hello?
You.
Hello?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What is holding the hand of federal government to prosecute those people that they are having their names? How many years now they have the names of those people? They don't want to prosecute them, and we are spending money on security. For me, even banditry. Look at the way they are destroying the homes of Nigerians, making them to be, living in IDP camps in their country. If you push people away from their homes without securing where they will stay, you are inviting insecurity. So, federal government of Nigeria, they are not ready. If they are ready, they will build houses for those people that they are destroying their houses before evacuating them or destroying their houses. They are not doing that. Where are those people going to stay? That's my question this morning. God bless you people.
All right, thank you so much. I think there's also talks on the Oworo.
As a corollary to what you just said, remember there's a time that kidnapping was rampant in the southeast. The governor now came out with a policy. If kidnappers are arrested in your house, we demolish the house, the buildings. Kidnapping stopped in southeast. So what we are seeing, this prevalence is a product of inaction of the federal government. They are not doing enough. The federal government should play less politics. The president and the symbol of this country, as the father of the nation, should be decisive. Forget 2027. Deal with the immediate. Secure the country for a better future.
Secure the country for a better future, you say. Still on the front page of the Nigerian Tribune before we move to the final paper. Catholic bishop warns against rising abuse in Sharia Hisbah operations. And this is something that we've talked about on the show. When many advocate for state police and the local vigilantes, the Hisbah, we had a point, I don't know if it was a package, Joe, or we had our correspondent bring us the complaints about the Hisbah. It was a package, right? Yes. Sumaya, yes. Brought us a package about they were beating people. There were so many human rights violations. And it's this argument that many people push forward when they talk about state police or community policing comes up, because it feels like these would be exploited, this would be abused. But before I get your reaction to that, let me take one more call. We have Trudy calling from Lagos. Good morning, Trudy. Thanks for calling. Please go ahead with your comment.
Yeah, good morning, Olives and Joe and Mr. Habib. Can you hear me?
Good morning.
Okay. So what I am trying to say is that what Mr. Habib has said is in order. We are in a country where everybody is confused. I don't even know if I should say I am a Nigerian or I'm an outsider. I don't even know what to say about myself. If I am asked today, where are you from? Am I going to tell them I'm from Nigeria? The insecurity we are talking about, our leaders have failed us. Politicians have failed us. Remember, this thing started when they chased out Goodluck Jonathan. When they brought them in, used them to chase out Jonathan. And how do you think that they will go out after using them? Of course they will not go. They will not leave this country. We have come to stay with these people. The worst, and just like the last caller called, Their names, the government said we know them, we have their names, you know them, and you don't want to prosecute them. People carry arms, killing your people, who are your primary responsibility to guide them. And you are seated, watching them being killed. But you have sent somebody that did not kill anybody to life imprisonment because he said he want to leave. When will we get it right? When will Nigeria has failed us entirely, totally. Nigeria has failed us, and this is not the Nigeria I was expecting. I bargained for. This is not it. This is another type of Nigeria. Our leaders kept on lying. You went and saw somebody. You rescued somebody. Who rescued them? Why didn't you catch the person that kidnapped those children? How did you rescue them? Did they drop them on the road for you to come and carry them? Or did you go to their camp to rescue them? Did you fight with them? Did you even explain to us the process of regaining those children? They keep on lying, upon lying, deceiving themselves. They saying, anyway, Nigerians are too quiet to my liking. Nigerians are too calm. We are overcome. I mean, we are quiet, but our quietness is not helping us.
What would you say that, I mean, he says Nigerians are too quiet. I would have loved to ask him a question about what would you have said that Nigerians should do? Because it feels like people have been pushed to the wall and don't know where to go anymore.
I'll answer you.
Okay.
Nigerians are too quiet. Nigerians are too quiet because they are not saying anything. They are not reacting. They are not thoughtful. Nigerians have reacted on what they have been doing. They give me every touch. Give me every nothing. We consume it and we keep quiet, looking at them. So the thing is that Nigerians are weak. We can forget them. We can tell them whatever we want to tell them, and they will do nothing.
Okay.
That's all right. What I mean. So Nigerians are too quiet.
Okay, Judy, thank you so much. All right, Judy, I mean, thank you so much. Because of time, we've taken your thoughts. All of you asking the case of the state police.
Before we get into the state police, I mean, just in response to the question that I asked Judy, when he says Nigerians are too quiet, Falz the bad guy has started a movement where he's challenging Nigerians to call their reps. He made a video, but I'm just going to read an excerpt of the caption. It says, "This is officially a national security emergency. Here's what I'm suggesting. Every citizen contacts their reps and senators with coordinated emails, phone calls, and WhatsApp messages with the following. Dear Honorable/Senator, as your constituent, I am urging you to call for a public hearing to address the strategy to defeat terrorism, rumors of an ill-equipped military, and how Nigerians will be kept safe. Please act urgently." He then says, link to find your rep, www.shineyoureye.org. So there's a website that has the links for everyone to find their website.
They've worked hard to put all
and now
the
he then also
there.
put the National Assembly website, www.nass.gov.ng. Let's first get your reactions to this as a step.
I was saying something on this program one time, that how society develops, how democracy can work is when we test these things. We test it. I was also saying that people like Peter Obi, people like Omoyele Sowore, Serap, that NGO, you must promote them. It's a way of showing our reservation on what is going on. What Judy is saying is right. Are we doing enough? Are we doing something? Yes. Is it enough? No. That is why I like this program. You guys, you animate the atmosphere, people's spirit, the way you present your program, the way you anchor it. Even if I'm not here, I watch it at all. Anywhere, it's online, it's on it's on former Twitter. So I think Nigerians are not doing enough. Nigerians are too docile. There's something that they say in French democracy. If you cannot do it in parliament, do it on the street. So we are not doing enough.
The problem is even that do it on the street, which is a right. But there's a stifling of that right that we're seeing.
Our lawmakers are they are sleeping.
No, it's not very dark, man. Please, Fal's the bad guy. Fal's the bad guy.
Correct.
Falano.
Next one. What they should be doing is security, and security. That should be their concern. But these guys are more concerned about their position than promoting the interest of Nigerians. That is very sad.
I want your take on the Guardian. The Guardian newspaper, as we are moving closer to the show's end. But of course, we have roughly 10 minutes. Let's use it very wisely. Sani warns northern leaders against playing politics with insecurity. And federal government denies banning open grazing, confirms transition to ranching. I want you to take this one. INEC vows crackdown on election rigging. The new INEC boss, Amupita.
Yeah, he was wearing...
I happen to meet the INEC boss.
Yeah, before you respond, I mean, to the INEC boss's statement, we have a call coming in. Okechukwu, good morning. Thank you for calling in from the seat of power, the Federal Capital Territory this morning. How are you? And please go ahead with your comment.
Good morning, my wonderful people.
Good morning.
Seeing what is happening in our country. Seeing what is happening in our country. This thing started, as the other person said, when Buhari told Jonathan that if he did not leave office, that he will make his government ungovernable. Nobody took it at heart. Everybody kept quiet. The other time he said that the baboon, don't know the way he put it, the blood, I don't know, will do this and do that. Everybody kept quiet. They imported these very people, they say they are not Nigerian. They are here killing us, maiming us, disturbing the peace of this country. And everybody is keeping quiet. So the only thing I want to say now is that time has come when all of us, including me, everybody will rise up against this nonsense. This is nonsense. The government, they are the ones killing us, not even the bandits, not the terrorists. It's our own government, the people whose responsibility is to take care of us, protect our lives. They are the ones killing us, deceiving themselves. This is bad, very, very bad. The other day, a man just said something out of just word. They said they sentenced him to life imprisonment. I don't know where that type of thing can happen in the world. In the developed world, it can happen. Then bandits who are killing people are going freely on the roads. So we are telling everybody. Everybody should have a second thought. This government, this epic government is not doing us good at all. Let God just us. We are not happy. Thank you very much.
Okechukwu for calling.
If you look at the syllogism of the argument, if you aggregate it, you send a man to life imprisonment. People that are killing Nigerians, they are treated with kid gloves. Very instructive. That's why I said government must be decisive in taking action. What she said in that story is over there. And the Northern Ireland should wake up.
And they are meeting today. They've called for a meeting.
This thing can consume them too. So on the INEC story, I was with the INEC chairman about 2-3 weeks ago. Because my friend is the new INEC spokesperson, one of my brothers. Yes. And I told him that he's holding a very critical, crucial position in the country. Because a major segment, of democracy is the issue of elections. And I told him that the elections are not free and fair. These people will not be difficult to hold them accountable. If they know that they're coming back to our mandate to renew it in 4 years, they will sit up and do the right thing. If you not leave to the court to decide who's elections, we're not heading anywhere. And he also agreed. I also told him that people that are committing electoral offenses in this country must be brought to book. And he said there are enough laws in Nigeria, that can deal with that. So he promised me that he will take what I said into when he's taking decisions. So I think the man is starting well. Okay. Look at what happened in Anambra.
Okay.
But that Anambra one, people argue that it maybe cannot be credited to him because he came in just before, not too long before Anambra happened, and that they were already movement and things were already set in motion, and he just came to.
Yeah, but the one who presided over it on record, presided over it.
Okay.
You know,
okay. I mean,
you cannot remove the credit away from him. Because the one has to pretended in that election, which was adjudged by local and foreign observers as free and fair.
Okay.
You know.
Still looking at the front page of The Guardian, federal government unveils online classes for schools. There's over 1.2 million teacher shortage. So imagine how much challenge education is facing. There's 1.2 million teacher shortage. So we need at least 1.2 million teachers. Now there's insecurity that is another issue, that we want to keep children at home. In a country that has one of the highest number of out-of-school children, this is our reality.
But are you guys looking at what I'm saying? Is it possible to go to any local village or community, 4 or 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, and adopt 10 students, numbers of 50
or 300?
Or 300? Is it possible? Is it very possible? There's no local people involvement.
It's impossible.
So that's why we need. That's what people are saying. And you see, the danger in all these things is that Nigerians are becoming weary. What government is saying. If people don't trust their government, that is the problem. They can resort to other means of scoring themselves. So we need to let them know, because this kind of program is we are letting people, we are informing them on what is going on, and giving you feedback that we don't trust what they are saying. So someone that committed treason, someone that is saying that you don't leave Nigeria, you are sending that person to life imprisonment. And people that are threatening the existence of the country, treating them with big gloves. So government should act on that. It's very key going forward.
Very key. All right, still on the front page, rising insecurity may push 35 million Nigerians into severe hunger in 2026, the United Nations warns. While we're talking about being the millions of people in multidimensional poverty, they say it might be more by 2026.
Do you know there is some states in Nigeria that there's a total local government under the control of these bandits?
Oh yes, I've heard of states who...
In Niger State, in Borno, and
State,
partly in Zamfara. And what is going on in Kwara State? So that shows to me that people cannot go to farm. And if you must go to farm, you must pay some ransom for security from bandits. So we are in a big mess by people. I don't know. And this affects food production. And very invariably the price. Everybody in the market.
But Nigeria...
So this thing is the gamut of problem that we are seeing as products of this insecurity in the country.
Okay. Wike orders comprehensive security reinforcement across Abuja. Now, why this story is important is before now, when we talk about our challenges with insecurity as a country, everyone pushes the bulk of the responsibility to the president. What we're seeing now is that with the recent spate of insecurity, governors are stepping up. Everybody's trying to put their house in order as much as possible, right? And one wonders why they had to wait for things to get this bad for them to step up to the occasion.
That is why Lagos is always ahead. When we're in government, my boss, Ambody, spend a lot of money on security. And that is what security votes are meant to do, to secure the people. These people have been busy building airports, government houses, than doing something about insecurity. Thank God they are waking up from that slumber. But I was in Abuja. So for a week. So if you keep on praising Wiki, I don't see anything. What is he doing? Abuja is dirty. No, I'm saying so. Abuja is dirty. And I was telling one of the supporters that what is going on here?
What about security? At least here it's about
Wiki cannot. You have to bring other people to help him to secure that. And it's the federal government seat anyway. And it's the federal capital.
And then there seems to
be... You can only compliment. Can't be the main. But they should go and send his boy to clean up that city. Abuja is getting very, very dirty.
And then there seems to be a fracas between himself and also a member of the FCT there, where they had mentioned that schools in Abuja will be closed, secondary schools. And then Wike's SSA came out and said, no, that will not happen. Schools will not be closed.
What the man is doing is to organize media pally, to do roads and bridges.
Commission.
And commission. And call you over to come and look at it. But there are schools in Abuja with no classroom that primary schools with no without roofs. They cannot even communicate from one community to the other. In Abuja, like capital territory. And they've shown it, it's everywhere. So what do you want to do about it?
Maybe now that you're talking about it, maybe the minister, the honorable minister, will stop on the road projects this year, and from next year, maybe we'll focus on education and healthcare.
Security. Roads is good, but I'll clean up that city, as I said.
Okay. All right. Time for us to wrap up. Thank you so much, Mr. Abi Baruna, for speaking. I mean, your words are always pleasant hearing, especially to those who have joined us and have also highlighted that they do enjoy your analysis here on Breakfast Central. Thank you so much, sir.
My pleasure.
And thank you to all those who have watched us here live on YouTube, if you've been streaming, Facebook, you name it. Unfortunately, Olive likes to go on YouTube to take comments. I think I should start going. You should start going to Facebook,
but I think we should close by taking final YouTube comment.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Pius Amako. Pius Amako says, "Dear News Central, I wish your program could last longer." Benga would love to hear that.
Benga will be so happy.
He said, "Meanwhile, this federal government should know that internet never forgets. They too will become a past government. Nothing bad lasts in Nigeria." Very true. The internet will not forget, and posterity will judge them depending on how they eventually play out their government. But this is how we wrap up the show. Thank you so much for joining us again. The show continues tomorrow. I am Olive Emodi.
And I'm Joe Hansen. Thank you for watching. Jasiri is up next. Stay with us. Don't touch that TV remote.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say don't touch that dial.
No.
Oh, a shout out to my big sister. I want to give a special shout out to my sister. Happy birthday. I wish you a really, really incredible year. God bless you. All right, we'll be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.